Rachael Ray, a name synonymous with accessible comfort food and the relentlessly cheerful motto of 30-minute meals, built an entire career on a foundation of approachability and perceived honesty, positioning herself as the culinary world's most relatable star. She created a multi-million-dollar empire that convinced masses they too could whip up a magnificent, quick meal in half an hour. But the glossy veneer of her public life conceals a personal narrative fraught with complexity and conflict, nowhere more visible than in her long-standing and tempestuous marriage to John Cusimano. The man who has stood staunchly beside her for nearly 2 decades is not simply a supportive partner, but a multifaceted figure who has been a lightning rod for unsettling controversy. Fueling a narrative of division among fans who struggle to reconcile the wholesome public image with the dramatic private realities. It is a relationship marked equally by unwavering loyalty and a persistent shadow of rumours which have only now, after years of intense public scrutiny, fully come into focus, revealing a picture far more complicated and volatile than any casual observer could have imagined when they first appeared together on screen. Ray's ascent began not in the bright lights of a television studio, but in the trenches of the New York food service industry, shaped by her Sicilian mother who managed restaurants, instilling in the young Rachael a chaotic, yet passionate devotion to food preparation. Her early career saw her working the candy counter at Macy's before a pivotal return to her Lake George roots, where she managed a restaurant before landing at a gourmet market in Albany. This is where her signature concept, the 30-minute meals class, was born. An idea so simple and engaging that it rapidly caught the eye of a local CBS affiliate, quickly propelling her into her first weekly segment and securing her first cookbook deal. Culminating in her signing with the Food Network by 2001. Her rise was meteoric, transforming her into one of America's most recognizable television faces through hits like $40 a Day and the eponymous Rachael Ray Show. But this professional explosion coincided with an unexpected and life-altering personal encounter. In 2001, at a crowded party hosted by a mutual friend, she met John M. Cusimano, the future cornerstone of her life and business. In a moment both awkward and fateful, bonding immediately over food, after she famously mistook his culinary interest as a sign of him being gay. Leading to a discussion that lasted until the early morning hours and blossomed into a daily communication that changed the trajectory of both their lives forever. John Cusimano, born a year before Ray, offered a starkly different yet perfectly complementary background to the burgeoning celebrity chef, possessing a deep passion for music that saw him accepted into the renowned Berklee College of Music. A path he ultimately deferred to pursue law at the cautious insistence of his parents. He established a successful career as an entertainment lawyer in New York, working in film, but his artistic soul was not stifled. He simultaneously became the frontman, guitarist, and singer for the rock band The Cringe, maintaining a fascinating balance between the discipline of a legal mind and the wild creativity of a performing artist. This combination proved irresistible and invaluable to Ray. He was not simply a musician chasing a dream, but a legal strategist, with the precise skills needed to navigate the treacherous waters of celebrity contracts, licensing, and branding. Ray herself would later publicly credit his profession as the smartest decision she ever made, acknowledging the millions he saved her, cementing the fusion of passion and practicality that became the enduring foundation of their partnership. The couple's love culminated in a lavish yet intimate Tuscan ceremony in September 2005, 4 years after their first meeting, taking place at the majestic Castello di Verona, marking the start of a marriage that would soon be tested by the relentless spotlight and the cruel machinations of tabloid speculation. But not before they returned to that sacred Italian castle a decade later to renew their vows. Ray famously reciting a poem that affirmed her commitment, stating, "Under any circumstance, I would still choose you, and I would still be with you, and I love you more than all the whiskey in heaven." A defiant declaration against the gathering storms of doubt. Despite the picture of romantic unity they presented, Ray dominating daytime television and Cusimano managing her soaring career while maintaining his musical outlet, the shadows began to amass almost immediately following their Italian nuptials, as Ray's massive fame made her, and by extension, John. A prime target for scandal. Early whispers of infidelity began to circulate, quickly morphing into deeply hurtful accusations against Cusimano that involved sex workers. Gossip the couple vehemently denied, though the damage to their pristine image was already done. The situation reached an undeniable crisis point in 2013 when a major national tabloid published a sensational, explosive report alleging that John had been observed frequenting a notorious New York swinger club on multiple occasions without his wife. A humiliating and public threat to the stability of their high-profile marriage. While Ray's team immediately issued a stern denial, labeling the story a baseless pack of lies, and with Cusimano reportedly preparing legal action, the gossip took root and refused to fade, leaving a permanent mark on their public perception. The external pressures were compounded by their own admitted internal dynamic, which was far from tranquil. Ray openly confessed on her 2024 podcast, I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, that she and John had never experienced a single moment of peace, often erupting into loud, volatile arguments. A confirmation of their fiery relationship that only served to fuel the existing rumours of deep marital discord for those outside their circle. Yet they endured publicly reaffirming their dedication with the 2015 vow renewal, an act of defiance that showcased their resilience, even as the public remained deeply divided. Seeing either a passionate couple weathering a storm or a tragic duo crushed by the unforgiving weight of ceaseless celebrity speculation. As their marriage continued to be assailed by rumours, Ray herself faced a relentless wave of professional criticism that made her one of the culinary world's most polarising figures during the mid-2000s expansion of her empire, which spanned shows, magazines, and cookbooks. Critics lambasted her 30-minute meals concept for omitting necessary prep time, while her signature use of phrases like Evo for extra virgin olive oil became a source of ridicule. But the most damaging attacks came from her celebrity chef peers. Culinary heavyweights such as Anthony Bourdain and Martha Stewart publicly dismissed her credibility, with Stewart once deriding Ray's inability to bake and Bourdain accusing her of dangerously dumbing down food culture for the masses. Her reputation took a severe blow in 2012 when a New York Times article suggested she did not actually write the dozens of cookbooks credited to her name, sparking outrage among her loyal readership. So? And although she defended herself by clarifying her use of organisational help, while maintaining the recipes were her own creations, the controversy left a lasting dent in her professional standing. Furthermore, her image was significantly soured after she offered vocal support to her friend Mario Batali during his 2017 sexual misconduct scandal, stating that he had always treated her fairly. A stance many fans condemned as tone-deaf and dismissive of the broader issues at hand. Through this persistent professional maelstrom, however, John Cusimano emerged not just as her husband, but as her indisputable secret weapon, fully transitioning from his law practice to manage her colossal brand, negotiating crucial media contracts, brand partnerships, and licensing deals that provided a necessary shield against the potentially exploitative aspects of the industry. He was far more than just a lawyer, however, maintaining his creative equilibrium through his band. While at home, he became her designated mixologist, balancing her culinary creations with his complex cocktail recipes, such as the Negroni Rosé Champagne Spritzer and the signature Lost in the Woods. See? The Woods. A perfect on-screen dichotomy of food and drink that suggested an unshakable, unified front to the world. But despite this carefully curated professional unity, not all audiences were convinced, with reports from those attending live tapings of The Rachael Ray Show frequently providing negative feedback, describing Ray as surprisingly detached and moody when the cameras were off. Foucault. With some reviewers even expressing sympathy for her staff, suggesting a deep resentment for the daily grind of television work. This jarring contradiction between her vibrant on-screen persona and the alleged unhappy energy behind the scenes mirrored the complexity of her marital life. They appeared to be the ultimate professional partners, yet their domestic arguments were the stuff of public legend, and their defences against tabloid rumours were a constant, intense battle. Cusimano remained a steadfast presence through every phase. Lawyer, bartender, musician, and the perpetual magnet for salacious rumours, as their relationship matured into its second decade, facing new and profound challenges that included devastating losses and family tragedies. In 2013, a profound heartbreak struck when her Aunt Geraldine died outside Ray's home after being locked out in freezing weather, an accident that led some family members to blame Ray for negligence, a rift that deepened after she missed the subsequent funeral due to work commitments, leaving lasting wounds that never fully healed. Her personal misfortunes continued, including being mugged twice in a single week in the 1990s, and more recently, the complete destruction of her beloved Adirondack home in a 2020 fire, followed a year later by severe damage to the rebuilt property from Hurricane Ida, alongside various health scares that fueled false rumors of cancer. Yet, through every personal catastrophe, the lawsuits over her pet food brand, the health procedures, the rebuilding of her life, John Cusimano was the constant presence, proving a bond that, though complicated, volatile, and perpetually scrutinized, possessed a profound and undeniable endurance in the face of impossible odds. After ending her long-running talk show in 2023 to focus on her production company and candidly admitting on her podcast that her marriage thrives on its argumentative, fiery energy, Ray and Cusimano continue to navigate their life, splitting their time between their rebuilt Adirondacks home and the enduring sanctuary of Italy. Their marriage, now spanning nearly 20 years, has stared down gossip, internal conflicts, family rifts, and personal devastation, standing as a potent testament to a complex, non-traditional love. For some, it represents an inspiring story of resilience. For others, it remains a cautionary tale about the high, tragic cost of being two people forced to live and love beneath the intense, unblinking eye of the world, leaving the definitive truth of their private dynamic an endless, unanswered question for the